Let's have a conversation about men who say that they are emotionally mature and don't like drama. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I've been counseling women and men who have experienced abuse, as well as those who have been perpetrators of abuse and other violent crimes. I have a listener who writes in. She says, Dr. Jones, can you please make a video about men who in the get to know you phase is constantly say they are emotionally mature and don't like drama. It's even in their dating profile. I feel that there is a pattern with men that say that, which is that they are the opposite of that. Not sure if it's only something I have noticed. No, I think you're spot on. And so I think you kind of have answered your question. I think when, and this is not meant to be disrespectful of men and women. This is just me talking about human behavior. I think when you have men who say this, they men who sort of advertise this are looking to attract a certain type of woman, right? And the woman that's going to be drawn to that is like, great, I don't like drama either. However, when you're a non-dramatic woman, that means that he gets to bring the chaos, right? So people that sort of advertise that, and I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing to not to want to have drama, but usually people who sort of advertise, I don't like drama, I don't like this and that, the other, they are usually projecting when they say that, right? They're usually projecting, and that means that they usually love drama or are the drama and the chaos despite all of that, right? And for me, the first thing I would say is, if I'm talking to somebody who says that, what does that mean to you? Like, what does that look like to you? Do you know what that looks like? And, why do you feel the need to broadcast that? Because, for example, I'm going to talk about myself here. I don't like drama and chaos either, right? Um, Now, there are days where I can get a little snippy. So for by and large, I don't like drama. I don't like chaos. I don't like arguments. And I don't like people who just wild out all the time. But it's not something that I go around advertising. And so if I know that about myself, I'm just going to cut out people who bring that kind of stuff. Like I'm going to block on my phone. we're not going to go out. We're not going to hang out. I'm not going to be around chaotic people. I've even talked with a friend. I had a friend that's kind of chaotic, a little bit disorganized and chaotic. Or a peer, I should call her a peer acquaintance, that wanted to go traveling. But there's not enough organization with her and within the friendship for us to go traveling, much less on an international trip. And so if, even though that seems like a great idea, hey, let's take a trip. I can't take it with you because you don't even travel well within locally, right? So we can't even take a bigger trip. But I'm not going to entertain conversations around behavior. I'm not going to entertain people that have chaotic behavior. So you don't really need to advertise. You need to just be about that, be about it, right? And so I think, I think when people sort of say that, they sort of have that warning label or disclaimer or, this is what I want. Usually that's exactly what they're going to bring. And that's exactly what they end up being. And they want to attract a specific type of person with those words. And you guys need to remember, it's less about what a person says and it's more about their actions and their character. What does their character demonstrate? Do they sort of, do they move with integrity in their relationships and their friendships? Like, what kind of people do they surround themselves with? And so it becomes less about what a person says and more about what, what their actions show. And so if this is in their profile, I would say you need to probably skip this type of person. But I also would have to ask you, if you know the answer already, why do you continue to select people like this that are chaotic, right? Because I think, again, logically, you know the answer, but there's something in you that systematically keeps choosing chaos, right? You're like, oh, my experience has been men who say this are actually chaotic, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to choose them anyway on the dating website, right? Or on the dating app, because I'm just going to see. And, so there's something in you that also, while you say you don't want that, you might want someone who's stable. You too are also continuing to choose chaos. So I'm going to put that out there, because, when you're dating, I think, dating, friendships, community, any type of relationship you have, to me, is a mirror. It's going to show you all of the challenge. The people that you select are also going to reflect back to you all of the challenges that you're having. So if you have a problem just sort of listening, or I won't say a problem, but if your challenge is that you continue to listen to what people say instead of watching their character and watching their actions, and looking at that to see if they are who they say they are, then there's something in you that's drawn to inauthenticity. There's something in you that you may even have relationships with other inauthentic people in your life. And a common theme for a lot of people that I've worked with in the past, they typically have inauthentic family members. So a mom, a dad, sister, brother, somebody who's usually close in their primary family of origin, who sort of shows up in the same way, if not them themselves, which usually in a lot of cases, you too are also mirroring back what you attract, or what you're entertaining. I should say that, because we're all going to attract, these types of people, but your actions are going to, your who you choose is going to be a direct reflection of you. What you entertain is what you allow. And so that there may be, you may want to explore with your own therapist, are there themes of inauthenticity within me? Do I lie to myself? Do I say I'm going to do one thing but end up doing another thing? Do I show up as being a little bit flaky in my own relationships? Like, how do I show up? Because there's something in me that continues to entertain people like that. Do I have people in my life that are, kind of inauthentic, that I'm clinging on to, or that I'm staying in a relationship with? And do I need to maybe modify my presence in that relationship? Hope that helps. Thanks so much.